Welcome, Virgo, to your first half of September reading, September 1st to 15th. Tonight we're doing the 12 house spread and we'll just get right into it. So, in the first house, you have this card, the Eight of Swords, and what an impressive start. I always love seeing this card because it's got to do with letting go and unshackling yourself and releasing that wildness within. So often the Eight of Swords can be interpreted as limitation, feeling repressed, but it can also symbolize what is it that's kind of sitting underneath that's just waiting to emerge. And sitting in your first house that's connected to this colors the whole reading for you and the spread, your identity and how you move around in the world and how you're perceived in the world at this time for the first half of September. And let's see where that clarifier card is, Fran.
Lovely. Oh, okay. Beautiful, Virgo. You have the
Oh,
Ace of
wow.
Cups. So the Ace of Cups in your first house suggests around your sense of self, first house sense of self. There's something that you're doing or something, a new way of being, a new way of thinking that's fulfilling your sense of self. Because what popped into my head, Em, when you pulled out that card of self-imposed self-restriction is Virgo being too hard on yourself, but then followed hot on the heels by our clarifier, Ace of Swords, suggests that you've shifted out of that restriction and you're now moving into a phase of deep fulfillment, deep
Mm.
self-fulfillment. So beautiful, Virgo, you're really coming into your own.
Cool. And so in the second house, we have the Five of Cups. And this card is in the second house, which is representing value and resources. This card often, I see this card as kind of relating to grieving and grieving as an important, healthy process that allows us to honor and pay attention to the things that served us before. And it's now time to move on into a space of newness and vitality. And you can see that as these like three cups laying here, kind of poured away, and the two standing behind. Ready to be perceived after the grieving phase. So, that sitting in your second house is connected to how do you tap into your inner resources or a sense of fulfillment by this grieving process? And how does that bring value to your life? Let's check out what the clarifier says, Fran.
Clarifier, we have the Four of Cups. So that's interesting. Um,
Okay.
So, Virgo, in your house of resources, how you make money, how you reap your abundance and your values, it would suggest that there's been past disappointments. I get a sense that it's connected with that grief. Um, but because in your first, the first card you pulled in your clarify was the Ace of Cups, I get a sense that you are moving through this grief and you are moving through this disappointment and this lovely sense of self fulfillment. I'd really encourage whatever it is that you're doing that's fulfilling you, yoga, meditation, affirmations, just seeing the glass half full, which is very much, what the Ace of Cups would suggest, then you're going to continue in this lovely phase of positivity. And yeah, you've moved through the grief, you've moved through the disappointment.
Mm. Thanks, Fran. And in the third house, we have the Seven of Swords, third house being representative of communication and ideas and the mind. And this card is often it's connected to being tactful and diplomatic. So this figure is taking the swords away from his enemy before they can use it against him in battle. So, how are you able to be diplomatic and tactful in your communication, in the ideas you're putting forward, so that you're laying a foundation of maybe it's self-protection or perhaps a better connection with yourself, better communication, um, in the future? And how does the clarifier speak to that one, Fran?
Okay, for your clarify. Oh, beautiful, Virgo. You
Mm.
have the Ten of Cups. So again, this is strongly saying that you're moving through phases and coming into a new period of your life of celebration, completion, reward, relationship. So in your house of communication, I think what it's suggesting is start communicating this lovely sense of fulfillment that you're experiencing. Allow that to come through in your communication. And perhaps what you're leaving behind is a more strategic, cautious, self protective form of communication, and you're moving more into a celebratory, open, trusting, loving form of communication. I mean, obviously not without discrimination. Yeah, but very positive, Virgo.
Cool. I love how you connected that, Fran, because sometimes when we pull the card, it can be this is what's happening now, but then a clarifier can indicate the direction or the timeline that it's happening in. That's really cool. In the
Yeah.
fourth house, we have the strength card. The fourth house is connected to family, could be chosen family or family of origin, a place that's familiar, and the home, the foundations. And this strength card is as can sometimes be referred to as soft control as opposed to hard control. So soft control is connected to patience, virtuousness, kind of planting that seed and watching it grow and taking your time to maybe connect with a part in you that can challenge, gently challenge, or show compassion to the parts inside that are domineering you or controlling or critical. And just being patient with it so that it is not that domineering, controlling part in you is not overtaking the other qualities that need to speak and shine forward as well. By that, I kind of mean perhaps there's a place in home or with family or your close circle of friends where you may feel like you're needing to assert yourself strongly, and perhaps this is a time to practice more patience and yeah, with some compassion and kindness. How does the clarifier speak to that, Fran?
Lovely. Virgo, you have the Fool. So leap of faith, a sense of
Mm.
innocence, playfulness in your fourth house of family. What I got in when you were talking, and I loved all your insights there, Virgo, in the fourth house of family, what's familiar. I got the sense, Virgo, that you might be being strong for other people, and there might be a sense of letting go. So the Fool's about to take a leap of faith. So take that leap of faith and allow other people to be strong for you, is the sense that I got
Mm.
with that,
Yeah.
as well as all of those great insights from you, Em. So, yeah, really exciting time for you, Virgo, letting go, leaps of faith, just kind of being a little bit more receptive, allowing yourself to receive rather than, I've got to be the strong one here. Yeah,
Yeah.
lovely, Virgo.
Cool. And in the fifth house, we have the Two of Cups, the card of relationships, partnership, soulmate, could be someone coming in for you. And if you're not looking for love, and even if you are, that's connection to higher self. So this sitting in the fifth house is that place of self-identity, self-expression, creative expression. Um, and maybe there's a connection there for you around love and relationships, whatever that may look like for you. And I'm wondering how that's coming through with the clarifier.
Let me see here. What have we got? Ah, interesting. We have the Four of Pentacles
Uh-huh.
in your fifth house of creative expression. So the Four of Pentacles, he's kind of a conservative guy, as you can see, Virgo is he's hanging on to that pentacle for all he's worth. On the positive, it's stability. Fours always represent stability, a nice solid foundation. So showing up in your fifth house of creative expression, all that, it's ruled by the sun, it's Leo, it's done here. I think that there's a little bit of conservatism there, maybe holding you back a little bit of playing it safe. So perhaps, yeah, lean into letting go a little bit more, that fool energy, that celebratory energy, that beautiful self-fulfilling Ace of Cups, letting other people be strong for you. Because I get the sense it's your time to shine, Virgo.
Yeah.
Nearly called you Leo because we're talking about the fifth
The
house.
Leo.
Leo. To justify myself.
Oh, that's really good. It's really great suggestions, Fran. So we're up to the sixth house, and we've got the Knight of Wands here. And the Knight of Wands is always charging in with passion, with energy, with fire. It's connected to Leo as well. But in the sixth house of service and health, this could mean someone coming in for you. It could be a romantic interest, or it could be just someone significant. And they've got quite a strong presence about them. And they're pretty fast. So whether or not you need to take that energy on more to kind of go with the flow, take on that full energy? Or is this a matter of where are my boundaries? And being in the sixth house, it could be showing up at work or it could be showing up in your health somehow. Maybe the clarifier will tell us more about that.
Really interesting, Em. Thanks for that.
Mm.
So, for your clarifier, we have this guy here. We've got the Seven of Wands. Let me
Huh.
show you that.
So,
So, this
yeah,
is a
we're talking about
card.
boundaries.
Yeah, boundaries, absolutely. And this is a card of boundaries. It's also a card of strong, deeply held conviction. So it's interesting that it's showing up in your house. Virgo rules the sixth house, as Em was saying, work, service, choice, health. So having some boundaries, having some conviction in the workplace about perhaps what you will and won't do, rather than feeling like you've got to charge in and take command because perhaps that's what's expected of you. And yeah, being a little bit more playful, creatively express. I feel like all of your energy here for the night to show up in your sixth house, that rushing, that urgency. I feel like there's too much work and not enough play, Virgo. So yeah, let's see. And that might be why you're really digging in deep and doing all of the good self-fulfilling stuff to try to balance that. But it might be, as Em was saying, setting a boundary around work.
Mm, really interesting. And so in the seventh house, we have the Ten of Swords. And do not be alarmed. This card comes up and people are like, oh my God, stabs in the back. But you can also see this figure is making a sign with his hand, and it's a blessing symbol, same as the Hierophant, which is blessing in disguise. What kind of came before where you're at currently, Virgo? What did you just move through that was painful and difficult and felt like you were kind of going in circles and that's just ended? Maybe it's connected to retrograde, but being in the seventh house, this is in the house of partnerships and love. Has there been a recent ending, or are you coming through the other side of a very difficult conflict and you're starting to see the insights and the positive messages and that really important healing work coming through? Let's see what the clarifier says about that too.
Beautiful, Em. Wow, lovely. What a
Oh.
nice counterbalance. You've got the Queen of Wands. So, the Queen of Wands in your seventh house of relationship suggests that you are a magnet at this time for whomever you want to be a magnet for, boys, girls, or otherwise. Very attractive at this time, Virgo, and with a real sense of abandonment and take me or leave me, this is how I am. So, I get the sense that, as Em was saying, what you've been through has liberated you, is what the Queen of Wands is telling me. And there might be a bit of a shadow. As Em was saying, the retrograde can bring up past hurts. So you might have been like, oh God, that was hard. But that you're moving through that now and you're into this really lovely phase. Beautiful, Virgo.
Great. Okay, and I'm just almost dropping my cards here, but I'm giving it a good shuffle. In the eighth house, we have a repeating card, the Ten of Cups. And this is the card of completion. This family or these people are standing here. Before them is reality, the hard work of life, but at the same time, they're appreciating and experiencing gratitude for what is. And that it's feeling like completed, like life couldn't get better than this right now. And sitting in that eighth house of transformation, it's that where are you kind of feeling into like a deeper insight into your current situation, into your self-identity? What is feeling really complete? What is feeling really secure for you at this time? And I'm wondering how that will be expressed in the clarifier too.
Oh, okay, interesting. Strange
Huh.
bedfellows. We've got the Five of Swords. So
Hmm.
walking away from something. I think you've walked away from that nasty Ten of Swords, and I do get the sense that there
Hmm.
is a little aftermath. Really focus on letting it go, Virgo. And in your eighth house of shared resources, mm, and disseminating information, there could be a sense that I don't know if somebody's ripped you off around shared resources, if there's been some nasty
Hmm.
stuff going on in the workplace. But I really do think it's time to let it go. You have walked away. That's the clear message of the Five of Swords, walking away from something that no longer serves you. And I would say, because you have walked away, just be willing to shake off the remnants, a little hangover of that energy, because this card suggests if you do so, Abundance is yours for the taking. Bliss, joy, happiness, the repeating 10 of cups, emotional fulfillment. Beautiful, Virgo. So just let it go. Step into the joy very intentionally.
Yeah, and as you were speaking, I just remembered something too about that card, the clarifier. There's three figures in it, and the ones in the backgrounds are the versions of you that didn't win, and the one that's standing in the foreground is the one that's coming away with the goods, but feeling like survivor's guilt, like getting away with something positive when others have suffered, but actually embodying that and being grateful and connecting to what you've got now, what you've transformed with the resources that you've garnered from that, it is really okay that you do that. And in fact, it's really important that you honor that and can experience that goodness. It's not about what you've taken away from others in the process. I hope that makes sense, Virgo.
Mm,
Yeah.
makes sense to me. I love it.
Good. Alrighty. And moving into the ninth house, we have the moon card. And the moon is the card for Pisces as well. I don't think we had any. Oh, we had Leo's card with strength card, but this one is all about what's in the shadow. In the ninth house, we talk about higher mind, higher thinking, like philosophy, beliefs. Where are you kind of sitting in terms of your beliefs of self, beliefs about the world? In this card, you've got like the wild dog and the domesticated dog. So it's that duality again of um, yeah, it's kind of like what's known, conscious, and what's unconscious. And when those two things are working together and you become more aware of that shadow part of yourself, that's where you can become more liberated. And maybe that's where your reflection at this time is really important about who you are and how that can bring you into a higher way of thinking. Let's check what that clarifier says, Fran.
Mm. Oh, we've got the Emperor as your clarifier,
Mm.
Virgo, in the ninth house of higher mind, Jupiter expansion. So the Emperor, as you can see, he's a pretty stable guy. He's pretty set in his ways, but he does know how to build. He does know how to get stuff done. So I think you're moving out of that period of uncertainty. I think something's really happened, Virgo, to shake your world. And the Emperor suggests that you're moving into a phase of strength, knowledge, stability. You can really trust yourself. You can really trust yourself. And this is what you're expanding into. So, ninth house is all about what you expand into. So, this is great to know that this is what you're expanding into, this trusting yourself in this phase of, I can trust the future. I've got stability under my feet. So, lovely, Virgo.
Mm. Yeah, it's such a good combination of that going into the shadow realm with the security of the emperor. Like that feels really good and solid. In the 10th house, we have justice. So that feels a bit like emperor energy, a bit, but justice connecting to fairness. Is there anything legal that you're dealing with at the moment? And being in the 10th house, this is in the place of career, reputation, and status. Um, is there a sense of either exuding justice publicly that you're doing, or are you experiencing justice at the moment, or injustice? Those are the questions that I have. Let's see what the clarifier says.
Oh, lovely. Okay, beautiful, Virgo. You've got the Six of Wands here. So, this is a card of success and recognition and achievement and getting noticed in your 10th house of career. And really, the 10th house is what you contribute to the world. So, you're getting noticed for your contribution. I think there's some rewards coming in for you, Virgo, around your contribution to the world and some real
Mm.
success coming in for you. So it's a card of victory, Virgo. Well done.
Yeah, I really see that too. I think that that feels really right. And then in the 11th house, oh, we have Eight of Wands, quick success and high momentum. 11th house is dreams, connection to people, groups, friendships. Something is coming in pretty fast for you, whether it's now or soon or it has just come. And it's maybe connected to, I feel like for this reading, it's about insight into the self and also compassion, like self-compassion, giving yourself a break. Is there something coming through that's helping you realize that, like really integrate that into your system? Where's the clarifier in that, Fran?
Lovely. Thanks, Em. Ah, we have a repeating card. We have the strength card.
Oh, okay. And the
Lovely.
strength card was sitting in the fourth house.
Oh,
previously.
right.
Hmm.
Yes. So the
Okay.
strength card showing up in the 11th house of hopes, wishes, friendships, and groups suggests to me that you're going to be nourished and get a lot of strength from spending more time with friends and maybe contemplating and ruminating and sort of daydreaming about your hopes and wishes and that beautiful fast momentum of the wands. This strongly indicates Virgo wish fulfillment in your house of
Oh,
hopes
yeah.
and wishes. Quick success, wish fulfillment. Really nice, Virgo. Exciting.
Yeah. What are you wishing for, Virgo? This is the time to request that. And in the final house, at the 12th house, we have the Lover's card. And so there is this repeating energy around partnerships and connection. In the 12th house, it's about what's mysterious, the spiritual, kind of like the unknown. And tapping into that energy is something about relationships for you. Um, I wonder if it's connected to relationship, not just romantic relationship, but a crossroads, having to make a decision between this and that. And is there a different way to view that all? Connecting to the higher self with this. Where is that shadow part in you playing out in relationships to others or to yourself? And let's check the clarifier for this last house.
So interesting. Thanks, Sam. Oh, beautiful. We have the world. We
Whoa.
have the world here in your 12th house of spirituality. The 12th house is also the house of atonement and all things hidden. So, Em, when you pulled out the lovers, I did wonder, because the 12th house is all things hidden, if there was perhaps a secret lover, somebody you're
Uh-huh.
keeping a little bit hush hush, or a secret admirer. Or in the 12th house of spirituality, if you're falling in love with your higher self, if you're falling in love with your spiritual self, and as a result of that work, this is a card of accomplishment. You are achieving the world, you are manifesting. So I think that what this is telling me is doing all that beautiful 12th house work around spirituality, whatever that means for you, you will manifest what you want. So this is a card of manifestation. It's everything you desire, it's the whole world. So keep up with that beautiful spiritual practice, Virgo. It's really paying off for you.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for listening with us and have a wonderful first half of September, and we'll see you at the next reading.
Enjoy.